The ANC is campaigning hard in the Western Cape, the only province it doesn't govern. Both the ANC and DA are facing stiff competition from smaller parties and independents ahead of the local government elections. ANC MP Zizi Kodwa is in the province trying to drum up support, and our reporter eNCA's Ronald Masinda is following this story, and he joins us now live. Now, Ronald, as you heard me saying earlier, the DA has been governing the city, the Western Cape, for a number of years now, and it seems the people are happy with the opposition party keeping in that province. What's the ANC Zizi Kodwa saying they're going to do to try and sway the voters' decision this time around?
Masako, good morning. Well, the ANC is simply saying that the DA, over the past 5 years, it has been making empty promises to many of its people, and now the ANC says it is ready to compete at the local government elections. Now, of course, this weekend, a number of ANC NEC members will be going door to door to campaign and to try and mobilize some support ahead of the local government elections. I am joined by Zizi Kodwa now to chat more on today's proceedings. So, Mr. Kodwa, thank you so much for your time. I mean, it is a province that has been elusive to the ANC for a number of years now. What are the plans in place in order to try and get the votes that the ANC deems necessary to show the DA that, that the ANC is indeed the ruling party of the country?
Well, what is very clear, we are confident enough that given the history of the African National Congress, given our strong base, we should be able to win wards in the Western Cape, here in the Cape Metro. You must remember the fact of the matter is that since over a period of time, we have not been able, the ANC, to emerge strong in the Cape Metro. It's not because of the strength of the opposition. There's always been the weaknesses within the African National Congress. And we have admittedly accepted some of those mistakes, which is the president, when he launched a manifesto, make reference to, including, among others, not to putting right people, not candidates who are supported by communities. So we have the capacity even to deal with those issues internally. But we're quite confident as we walk around, people are inspired, people have got hope in the ANC. But again, people raise issues about issues of conditions, for an example, service delivery in the Western Cape, in the Cape Metro, for an example. It's like a city with two tails. If you are here in Crossroad, if you are in Nyanga, if you are in Luanze, as you go towards town, you see a different Cape Town. So it's a city with two tails, and therefore those issues can only be addressed by the African National Congress. That's why you see a lot of us, as you mentioned, Mama Naledi and many other NEC members. We really want to make sure that we change the face of Cape Town, we change the face of Western Cape to become part of South Africa and non-racial South Africa.
The politics in the Western Cape are no doubt very complex, and one has also alluded to the issue of the ANC losing the coloured vote over the years. What are the plans then to try and mobilize more coloured voters who are seen as the majority population in the province?
We haven't lost the coloured vote in the Western Cape. I think there's always been a perception that the coloured vote has left the ANC and went somewhere. The issue is that the African National Congress in itself has had internal problems in the Western Cape. And some of those problems have led a lot of people and pushed them away from the African National Congress. Part of what we do is to inspire and bring back the voters of the African National Congress, whether that side of the relay line or not. But it's important that we must continue to inspire, because we are the only hope of the people of South Africa. We are the only hope of the people on Manenberg, Heidelberg, Neltrach, Mitchells Plain, Grassy Park. As well, we are the only hope of the people of Nyanga and Gugulethu. Because part of what we must do, we are the only organization that can improve the conditions of the people. We have a track record, how we have changed South Africa to be a better country since it was from 1994 to 2021.
The DA has always held a popular view that this is the best run province in the country, but some may criticize the way the province has been run, saying that, there's a widespread inequality, there's issues of a spatial inequality in the housing sector. Crime is also an issue, and you obviously, in the other role that you play as a Deputy Minister of State and Security, you also heard this week when people of Gugulethu expressed their concerns. What will the ANC do differently if the ANC were to be in power back in the Western Cape?
There's no doubt that a blue lie has been repeated many times by a blue party, that the Western Cape or Cape Town is a best run city. I don't think they've been to Luanze. I don't think they've been to Nyanga Crossroad. I don't think they've been here in Philippi and see the conditions, even before they state that blue line many times in public. But we're concerned about the crime rate and the murders and everything else, including the gender-based violence, in particular in the Cape Flats. You were part of us when we had a crime in Bizo in Kukuletu. The same issues are raised in Philippi, the same issues are raised in Luandle. One of the mechanisms that can help us to deal with issues of crime is what I call social community mobilization. Because you can put a policeman, a policewoman next to each house. It won't stop crime. It won't stop some of the violence we see. You need community mobilization. You need to strengthen community structures such as CPFs so that communities themselves, they can be able to make sure that they create safer communities. Part of our work is to go around, make sure that we strengthen community organizations. At the same time, we bring trust between the government, the police, and some of the state institutions, so that together, not only the police alone, not only the law enforcement, we can deal with issues of crime in the Western Cape.
Mr. Kodwa, very briefly before I let you go, in terms of the other parties that are also vying for the wards and the municipalities in the province, many are saying that there's a lot of growth in parties like the Good Party and the Patriotic Alliance, which we have also seen throughout the week, also gaining a lot of members in terms of when they went to townships. Is that a concern for you?
We're a democratic organization. We fought for democracy. We believe in democracy. We believe in plurality of views and plurality of representation. The more parties we have, the more our democracy becomes vibrant. So we're not concerned about many parties. We remember in 1994, we had something called Kiss Party, and everybody was laughing. We don't know what happened with that Kiss. The Kiss disappeared. So as democracy matures, you will see more parties. It means we've got a stable democracy.
Right. Well, Mr. Zizi Kodwa, thank you so much for your time. That was Mr. Zizi Kodwa as he prepares to go door to door here in Philippi to try and mobilize the people of the township to join the ANC. And we do know that even since yesterday he's been visiting other townships here in the Cape Metro, as well as Naledi Pando, who is also mobilizing people in areas such as Mitchell's Plain. So we will be following Mr. Kodwa and speaking to a number of ANC members and supporters who will also be joining Mr. Kodwa throughout his visit in the area of Philippi.